Jai Sriman Narayana. We'll start with the prayer.
Pranams.
We start with the prayer. Om Asmatgurubhyo Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Namah Paramarishibhyo Namaha Paramarishibhyaha Om Namah Paramarishibhyo Namaha Paramarishibhyaha Om Purnamada Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate Om Yata Kincha Jagat Tena Tyakena Vanjita Magrida Padashritam Shrimanarayanam Vande Yathishwar Shriyajusam Krishnam Kamalapatraksham Punyashravana Kirtanam Vasudevam Jagadyonim Naumi Narayanam Harim Krishnaya Yadavindraya Jnanamrita Yogine Nathayari Namo
Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Asmatgurubhyo Namaha. Jai Sri
Narayana.
Jai Sriman Narayana. Today is July 18th, 2022. We finished up to Sloka 22 in chapter 1.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
22.
Okay, let's start with 23. And say 23. We can see the screen.
Yes, sir.
Not the full screen, but yeah, we see the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Please chant. Yotsyamananaveksheham
Yotsyamananaveksheham
ya etetra samagataha
Ya
Etetra
samagataha
Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe
Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe
Yuddhe priyachikirshavaha
Yuddhe priyachikirshavaha
Let's chant together.
Yotsyamananaveksheham ya
Etetra samagataha Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe Yuddhe priyachikirshavaha.
So where are we in chapter 1? Anyone remembers? Sloka 22 up to 22 we finished. So what is the scenario here?
Scenario Arjuna, I think you want Lord Krishna to go and stop the chariot in the middle of this thing, right? Before that, they introduced all the warriors on both sides, on Kauravas and Pandavas.
And they blew their conch.
Conscious, yes, each other. That's right.
Very good, yes. So he asked Lord Krishna to place the chariot in the middle of the two armies. Okay. So he said, until I inspect all these Kaurava warriors who are assembled here, who are eager to fight, with whom I must fight in this war, right? So he wants to see all those Kaurava warriors. That is Sloka 22. So, I mean, as we discussed, there is no, there is no justification for such a request, right? I mean, how can Arjuna say, I want to see all these warriors? Isn't it? I mean, it is a little bit out of place. It looks like, he is asking something that is normally not asked in that situation, right? But he is motivated. He is driven from, some behind by some inner force to seek such a, he's actually ordering, not a request. He's ordering Lord Krishna to go, and place the chariot in the middle so that I can see. So then in Sloka 23, he says, Yotsemanan aveksheham. So he's saying, Yotsamanan, all these people who are gathered here, who are willing to fight, who are war mongers, like they're willing to fight. Yotsamanan, aham avekshe. So I shall observe them. I want to, analyze, I look at them and then see, okay, who is who, and then decide what does he wants to do. He wants to um, uh, he also said samagata, etetra samagata. So who are assembled here, in this war field. I want. So he wants to analyze all these people. Who are they? They are Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe. Okay. Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe. They are all these people who are gathered here. Okay. They are Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe yuddhe priya chikeshavaha. So those who are wishing to do a favor to who is Dhartarashtrasya is referring to Duryodhana, one who belongs to Dhritarashtra, Dhartarashtrasya of Dhritarashtra of Duryodhana. So Priya Chikirshavaha, those who are wishing to do favor to Duryodhana. Who is he? He is Durbuddhehe. He is a wicked person. He is evil-minded. Okay, so I want to analyze all these people who are gathered here to do a favor to this evil-minded Duryodhana. Okay, I mean, you can see his that anger is still probably bubbling in him, right? I mean, he's referring to Duryodhana as evil-minded. So that compassion is still not there. Later the compassion will come. But at this time, he's saying that I want to see all these people who are supporting this, evil guy, Duryodhana, and they are gathered here to fight, to do him a favor, he's saying. That includes Bhishma, Drona, everybody, right? So again, we'll see what happens next. Any questions on that?
So, Varaprasad garu, so this, Lord Krishna behind the scenes, right? He's trying to force Arjuna to do that action, right? To go to that middle of the that, right? I think play the chariot. I think behind the scene, indirectly, right? He's kind of, you want him to go there, right? But
yes,
easy make him think like this as well. I mean, like, the Buddha and all these things, right? I mean, probably not, right? That's probably the self-driven kind of a thing. I mean,
yeah. So I mean, it's a very good analytical question. So for our living, for our thinking, I'm able to think something. The force behind is Paramatma. What I think is my choice, right? So the energy, from behind is Paramatma, but it is my choice on what I think. Here is controlling, in a way, Lord Krishna, based on the scenario our acharyas have given, like there is absolutely no reason why Arjuna would ask such a thing unless he is under the command and control of the one who is sitting right next to him. So the logical conclusion was that it is Paramatma who is, of course, he's the one who is enabling everybody. The energy that we have, we are able to live because of Paramatma only. That will come later in Bhagavad Gita, right? So so we are able to live, we are able to think, we are able to talk. Everything is because of Paramatma. But usually it is our choice what we decide to think. It is based on our gunas. Again, it will come later, that entire explanation. But at this place, in this place, it is widely accepted that Lord Krishna is the one who is motivating him to go in that direction. Now, again, Arjuna can decide, if he was Rajasic or Tamasic, he would have decided not to surrender to Paramatma. That choice was always there with him. But the situation is created by Paramatma for him to take an action. Now, that action was, yes, Arjuna surrendered to Lord Krishna to get the advice. He could have said, no, I'm not going to listen to you, and then he would have run away, or he wouldn't have even asked for advice and he would have started fighting. Both could have happened, but here in this case, Arjuna is motivated by Lord Krishna to go and see, because unless Arjuna goes to the middle and then sees them from near, right? His mind would not change. I mean, it is not possible for him to think in that direction. So that's why, again, he's motivated to go into that direction. So it's a combination. We cannot say just, but based on the situation, definitely we attribute all this to Paramatma, with the understanding that Arjuna had the choice of running away, but he did not. So that is the we all get all the situations, but we take a decision to run away. Like when we are going on a road, we see a temple. We always have a choice to go into the temple and then take blessings, but we decide not to. So yes, we are given the situation by Paramatma, but we decide not to. Or some people will take now all of you have decided to come here. So that is your decision. The situation is created by Paramatma. You took the decision to be here. So um, and we got we got the energy to be here and participate. So, but we shouldn't think, oh, it is my greatness that I'm able to do all these things. It is because of Paramatma who, first of all, created the situation, given me the energy, given me the thinking, all that. I only did that little part of um, applying my jnana to say, okay, this is what I need to do right now.
Yeah, right. This is the right thing for us.
And Arjuna did the same thing. So he got the situation, he went along with it without running away from it. And then he would ask Lord Krishna for advice later. It will come later.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Sloka 24. Sanjaya Uvacha
Sanjaya Uvacha
Eva Mukto Hrishikeso
Eva
Mukto
Mukto
Hrishikeso
Hrishikeso
Gudakesena Bharata
गुडाकेशेन
Gudakesena
भारत
Bharata
Senayorubhayormadhye
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
Senayorubayormadhye
Apa Itvaradhottamam.
स्थापयित्वा
Sthapayitvarathottamam
रथोत्तमम्
Let's chant together. Eva Mukto
Eva
मुक्तो
Mukto
ऋषिकेशो
Hrishikeso
गुडाकेशेन
Gudakesena
भारत
Bharata
सैन्योरुभयोर्मध्ये
Senayorubhayormadhye
स्थापयित्वा
Sthapayitvarathottamam.
रथोत्तमम्
Okay. So Arjuna asked Lord Krishna to place the chariot in the middle so that he can analyze, he can observe and analyze, who he wants to fight. Okay. Now, so Sanjaya is saying, Sanjaya Uvacha, Eva Mukto Rishikeso Gudakesena Bharata. Bharata, so he is addressing Dhritarashtra as a descendant of Bharata dynasty. So that is Dhritarashtra. So Bharata. Eva Mukto Rishikeso Gudakesena. Evam Uktaha Hrishikesaha Gudakesena. So Arjuna spoke all these things. So thus, evam, thus, uktaha, thus expressed by who? Gudakesena is by Arjuna. Arjuna has another name, Gudakesa. Gudakesena means by Arjuna. This ena, if you wherever it comes, you can imagine, think that it is with or by. Okay, it will come so many places in Bhagavad Gita. So Gudakesena by Arjuna. Can anyone say what is the meaning of Gudakesa? So Gudaka Isa. Gudaka Isaha is Gudakesaha. Gudakas means they are the sleep and laziness. They are called Gudakas or Gudaka. Okay, sleep and laziness. So Isaha, one who controlled the sleep and laziness, is called Gudakesaha. So Arjuna, as you know, he was he defeated, or he was able to control his sleep, right? Sleep and laziness. Okay, so you might have heard. That's how he became the greatest archer at the time. So he is. So Sanjaya is addressing Arjuna by the term Gudakesa. Okay, so Arjuna is Gudakesa, and Sri Krishna is, Lord Krishna is
Controller of senses.
Rishikesa.
Rishikesa, yeah.
Yeah, Rishikesaha. Rishikesaha is one who controls the senses.
Yes.
Okay, so who is higher?
Lord Krishna. Yeah.
Krishna.
Yeah, obviously, right?
Rishikesa is
So,
higher.
Rishikesa. So Gudakesa is the one who controlled sleep and laziness. Is great. Even for us, it is very difficult. When we have a very important thing going on, we feel sleepy, or when we are listening to a lecture, we feel sleepy, or or we have important tasks to do, we feel lazy. Oh, no, okay, I will do later. So that is typically our behavior. But Arjuna is not like that. He's a great person. There is not a small guy. Okay, so eva mukto hrishikeso Gudakesena Bharata senayo ubhayo madhye sthapayitva radhottamam. Senayoho ubhayoho. That is in the senayoho ubhayo madhye, in the middle of the two armies. Okay. Sthapayitva radhottamam. After placing Radhottamam, he is referring to the chariot as Uttama Ratha. And so that is the best of all the chariots. So, so Lord Krishna, Hrishikesaha, after placing Hrishikesaha Senayoho Ubhayoh Madhye Sthapayitva Radhottamam. So he is Lord Krishna is going to say something, right? So he's saying Hrishikesaha, after placing the chariot in the middle of the two armies. Okay, so it will continue in the next sloka. Okay, we'll chant the next sloka also.
Sure. Yeah.
It will it's 24 and 25 go together. So see the scenario, like he asked, Arjuna asked Lord Krishna to place the chariot. Then Krishna followed the order. As Arjuna said, place the chariot in the middle. After placing the chariot in the middle of the two armies, stop them. Okay. And then Sanjay is going to continue in the next sloka, sloka 25. I'm going to share the sloka. Yeah. So sloka 25. Bhishmadrona Pramukhatah
Bhishma
Bhishma Drona Prama
Drona
Sarvesham cha mahikšitam.
Sarvesham Chamahikshita
Chamahikshitam
Uvacha Partha Pasyaitan.
Uvacha Partha Pashyaitam
Samavetan Kuruniti.
Samavetan Guru Niti
Let's chant together.
Bhishma
Drona Pramukata
Sarvesham
Sarvesham
Chamahikšitam.
Chamahikshidam
Uvacha
Uvacha
Partha
Pashyaitam Samavetan Guru Niti.
Okay. So in this, the third line, Uvacha is there, right? So Lord Krishna, after placing from the previous sloka, after placing the chariot in the middle of the two armies, Uvacha spoke. Okay. Bhishma Drona Pramukataha. Okay. Now that is in front of Bhishma and Drona. Very simple language is used. I mean, there is not much complication here. And it's like a small, kind of a story narration, right? So it is easy to follow. Sarvesham Mahikshitam. Okay. Of all, Sarvesham, of all, Mahikshitam, of all, of kings. So of this type of construct will come many places. Like there will be two words having the same vibhakti, okay, in Sanskrit. That's why you could, you could place the, you can change the order of the two words, still the meaning does not change. See, of all kings, right? If that is how we write in English. Okay, so if you change the order, then it becomes a problem. If of is associated with all, of is associated with kings, of if you change that order, it will the meaning of the sentence will change. So, but in Sanskrit, you say of all and of kings. So, but when you're understanding in English, we have to say of all kings, unfortunately. But in Sanskrit, if you are, if you are familiar with Sanskrit, this is how we will say Sarvesham Mahikshitam. So, of all kings. So he's saying Partha. So he's addressing Partha. He's after placing the chariot in the middle of the armies, he's addressing Arjuna as Partha. Okay, it is not Partha, it is Partha. So wherever a name appears without, typically, again, these are not, pure Sanskrit rules, but to understand, make it easy to understand for beginners. If a name does not have aha, typically for male, for pulling a sabda, they typically end with aha. So if that is missing, that means you are addressing that person. So if you say Partha is addressing, Partha is that is the subject of the sentence. So Arjuna did something. So that is Partha, welcome. But if some Krishna is addressing Arjuna, he's saying Partha. So what he's saying, Partha, Pasya etan kurun samavetan iti. So he's saying Pasya, see. Okay. Who is asking Arjuna to see? Etan samavetan kurun. So all these Kauravas who are assembled here. Iti is like when you're saying, like within quotes, he said like this, we said like this, right? Like that in Sanskrit, it is iti. So you say the same sentence and then say iti. So Sanjay is saying, Partha pasyetan samavetan kurun, he said. Okay, so see all these Kauravas who are assembled here. This is very key. I mean, our acharyas say that like when Lord Krishna said this sentence, this, he can't say order because he's at a lower level, he's a charioteer, but he said like, see all this, okay, that changed the mood of Arjuna. This is the key here. So far Arjuna is eager to fight. Actually before this chapter started, in the previous chapters, not in Bhagavad Gita but in the Mahabharata, previous chapter. So Yudhishthir actually had he was having a doubt. Arjuna says, no, we should fight. I'm just paraphrasing, just saying it in a summary. So that shows that Arjuna is very much eager to fight, willing to fight, waiting for so many years. So, and then even when he wants to see all these people, he said, I want to see all these people who helped this evil guy. And typically we say that when we are having that anger in us, that want to really fight and take care of these guys, So, but when Lord Krishna said, see all these Kauravas who are assembled here, then things change. Okay. So far, Arjuna is seeing all these people as enemy. All are enemies. Okay. And all he wants to really fight and kill them. Right. So, but when Lord Krishna said, see all these people, then Arjuna's mood changed. Okay. Any question?
So is it not okay to be angry at those people? Right? Right now
Yeah.
it is a war. And
Yes.
sort of have to, maybe shouldn't be angry, but if you are not, then you're not, you're harming your.
Okay. So it's a good question. As we go along in Bhagavad Gita, we will learn a lot of things. So to a normal, day to day, in the materialistic world, right? What we'll learn is, okay, it is fine, if you say that, oh, Arjuna has to be angry in order to fight. That anger should drive him, right? That's what we normally think, isn't it? So
Not that it
so
should drive him, not necessarily drive, but they are supporting him. And if he was angry at them because they've supported him being a bad,
evil,
character.
I don't think angry is the right word here. I think Arjuna should be prepared, but not angry. Angry has a different connotation, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So typically, when if we put ourselves in Arjuna's shoes, right? Won't we be angry at Duryodhana? I mean, I'm 90 years old, and then this guy is doing so much evil in the society. This adharma that's spreading all over. Did such a bad thing to say Draupadi. So and of course there are so many bad things that have happened. Now we think, oh yeah, he should be, that anger should be bubbling in him and is ready to fight, and that should come and um, if he is not having that anger, he must not be a human, right? That is how we typically think, right? It is okay to have. I mean, that was the question. Is it not okay for Arjuna to have anger? We may think that in a normal sense, yes, people think it is okay to have anger. That should be there, whether it is driving or not, whether it is justified to be angry, is at least what we think. But we should not have that. That's what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. It is so difficult. Anger should be taken out of our dictionary.
So, sir,
So then,
that is where I was coming from, because I think that's a lesson I still need to learn and understand. Everything that you said, right? Stuff he did to Draupadi, how mean he was to them, they had to leave because of him. So
right.
I think it's not easy. It's not, for me, it's not easy at all to say, oh yeah, right, he should have forgiven, like no anger. I would be angry, right? I mean, that's where I'm trying
Exactly.
to learn. I will be angry. I'll be very angry still. I'll never forgive
Yes.
him. I'll never forgive him, right? I mean, yes, you should be prepared
So
for a war, but
again, anger
yes.
and forgiving. It's all these are a little bit confusing terms. When we go through the entire Bhagavad Gita, I mean, this is the greatness of Bhagavad Gita. We'll learn what should be our feeling at that moment. Uh, and so something that we think is okay, if I am not angry, then should I forgive? And then, okay, I mean, I'll not fight, right? That is what happens. If I'm forgiving, or the other thing is, uh, if I'm not remembering all those things that have happened, and those are not motivating me from going at. Of course, that motivation is that I need to do something to these guys. That is not pushing me. If that is not pushing me, then why would I go and fight? I will not put 100%. Okay, but Bhagavad Gita, I mean, here, what we learn in this particular situation is Arjuna shouldn't be thinking about all those things, right? He should not be angry. There's no question of forgiving and all that. He should be just thinking of his duty. That is what we'll learn in Bhagavad
Yeah,
Gita.
basically
So,
trying to
yeah,
correct what is being wrong, what has been done wrong. It's not angry. He's there to correct what is. He tried to explain to them. He tried, his level best. Guys, don't fight. Let's not fight. But at the end, it's like, okay, then I think I'll have to correct this situation. What happens now? It's a war, but not an angry sort of perspective. I don't know.
right. He should not have that anger, hatred, rage in him when he is fighting. If he is fighting with anger, rage, hatred, he will be acquiring karmic bondage. Again, all these concepts we will learn later, of course. There's a lot more explanation for those. So when Arjuna is fighting here, he just focus on what is his duty. This is my duty, and I need to do this. That's it. Okay. Whether I'll be successful, not successful, what happens later, you know, again, it'll come. I don't want to jump the slokas. It'll come later. We'll explain in detail. So he shouldn't be thinking too much into what will happen, whether there will be success or failure, all that. There is a duty that is given to him. That is a duty he should perform with no hatred. no anger, no desire for success. Just do the duty. And unfortunately, Arjuna didn't, he didn't have. Either he was angry before, uh, that was kind of driving him. He was really, frustrated, angry, and all that built up, and then they had to fight. And then now suddenly he becomes compassionate.
Varaprasad Garu, did you also say no? No, you said something about success. No desire
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I mean, there is no desire. No desire. Of course, desire means what? I mean, I have a desire to become king or desire to win, right? Desire to get a job, desire to have money, whatever. Like Arjuna should not be doing his duty with a desire in mind. Desire for a particular result. That is what is expectation of result. Again, all this will come later, second chapter, third chapter, and future chapters. But he shouldn't be thinking about all those things that will happen later. Okay, and then setting an expectation on that, and then deciding, oh, I should not be doing it because I will not be able to meet that expectation. That is where the problem is. Like when there is a duty for us, and then we have an expectation, and then we think, okay, if I do this duty, that expectation is not going to be met. So let's not do the duty at all. That's exactly what's happening here. Now, Arjuna. So he will do that. So if it is our duty to write, again, this is, those who are young, who are taking tests, or people who are attending interviews or whatever. I mean, just the if it is my duty, I'll do it to the best of my abilities that Paramatma has given me. Whatever result happens, it's fine. That is the attitude with which we have to do that. When Arjuna, unfortunately, was not focused on the work or the duty of fighting in the war, was focused on everything else. Okay, so that is where the problem is. That's why he has to be given the Bhagavad Gita message. Of course, it applies to all of us, everyday situations, where we, Arjuna is a great person. He still succumbed to that kind of thinking. We are, we are not good Akesha, so we'll definitely have these situations occurring in our life. Then once we know Bhagavad Gita message, then we'll be able to take the right decision.
Professor Garu, I mean, I think going back to that's what I'm about to ask actually. It's Sloka 23, right? So is it okay for Arjuna to think Durbuddhi and all those things? I mean, this guy is bad guy. This is Durbuddhi. He has all this cunning, evil kind of a thing. I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
Thinking that way. I mean, someone can think. I mean,
Yeah.
because in this situation.
Yeah. It's a fact. I mean, so it is not like if he's not a good person, there's no problem in saying he's a bad person, right?
Saying
But
okay, he's Durbuddhi. That's why I'm kind of maybe that's okay. That's what I just want to know, right? His daily life,
Yeah.
I'm sure, right? We see, oh, this guy is a cunning guy. He has around all this, and right?
Yeah.
Those kind of things.
So right. I mean, it is based on what the person is doing. Okay. So it is fine to like. Otherwise, I mean, what is the point in having any knowledge, right? If you look at a color and then the color is white or black, you say it's a white color, then you say white, right? Where the difference is having hatred on that person. based on what our analysis is.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is where the difference is. Like, if Arjuna built up that hatred because he's he's durbuddhi, like, he's evil-minded, then it is a problem. But if he's evil-minded and he has to be punished, then yeah, he should say he's evil-minded, I'm punishing, or should decide to do that. Otherwise, if he is not even thinking he's evil-minded, then then he doesn't qualify to be a king.
So hatred is the key there, right? I think
Exactly. You should not build
yeah.
hatred.
Yeah.
So the different, I mean, of course,
As a
Lord Sri
human,
Rama and
as a human being, we all have same emotions. I think where we are different from, or Arjuna is different from us, how he control or channelize his emotions, I guess.
right, yes. Yeah, I mean, he took the right decision. Compared to Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, Arjuna took the right decision to approach Acharya and surrender and seek the advice and follow the advice. So that is more important. All of us have some baggage that we come up with. We are affected by the gunas. And all this will come in Bhagavad Gita, what gunas we are affected by and all that. So no one is immune to be affected by the external forces, right? So, but how we process that information, process it, is what we will learn. There will be bad people, uh, or say nature, nature is not going to be always rosy, right? And, it doesn't have to be a person. It could be anything around us. But if you are getting affected by the whatever is happening around us, then there will not be mental peace. And that is a problem that all of us face. So we get some information, we process it, and we build build on top of it internally. That is, hatred. The hatred is one of them, and then desires are another one. Like, we see something and then we desire. Oh, I need to get it. I need to get it. And if I don't get it, then I will become angry. Again, all this will come again Bhagavad Gita. But those desires and hatred, ragadveshas, are the main culprits for us. That is, if we don't know that they are the main culprit, then we'll succumb to them. Okay, it doesn't mean that we don't recognize something is bad. Yes, we recognize something is bad, but we do our duty of either, if our responsibility, like a cop responsibility is to punish a criminal, they have to do it. So they have to first recognize that the guy is doing some criminal action, right? Unlawful thing. So they have to recognize that and they have to do their duty. But they should not build, I mean, of course, cops, they don't build such thing. But if we are faced with day-to-day situations, we read something, we hear something, and then we keep building within us, or somebody did something to us, right? Some bad, uh, okay, let us say, then we are not able to, let's say, do any reciprocate it immediately. Like we are not able to take it on them immediately. Then what happens is, why that guy did to me, like this? That we keep building, and the longer we wait, that hatred will increase. And then somebody may take a drastic action, or they may lose their mental state of mind, and then they'll be an unhappy, depressed, sorrow, and or they will take action which is not advised, taking some extreme actions. So that is where the control is. Okay, I recognize that person did something wrong. We leave it to Paramatma. All this will come. Please, I mean, this is a very detailed thing. Good that you're asking questions. We will learn exactly how to handle situations when we see some practical scenario where I'm getting affected. Then how do I behave in that situation? We will learn very detailed. So we have to stay tuned. Yeah, and short answer is we should not have raga dveshas. Okay, and we should not be doing with an expectation on the result. Okay, we should focus on the duty and do it to the best of our abilities. Leave the result to leave the result to. I mean, of course, we are learning Bhagavad Gita, so we say leave the result to God. He's the one who will give the result to us. No matter what the result is, we need to accept it with equanimity. That is treating whatever may be the result, success or failure, as equal. That is what Arjuna should have done. Okay, but he had the raga dveshas affecting him at this time. Okay, so he's not able to think straight. So first he was having some maybe inner boiling inside, because he didn't have the Bhagavad Gita message straight, and so it's acceptable for him not to know that. So he was kind of frustrated, angry, and then he wants to see all these people who are taking the evil side. I want to kill them. And then once Lord Krishna says, look at all these people in front of you, then Arjuna's mood changes. Any questions? Okay. We'll go to 26, look at 26. Right, 26, right?
26, sir. Yes, sir. 26.
Okay. Tatra pasyat sthitan partha
Tatra pashyat stithan partha
pitrun atha pitamahan
pitrunatha pitamaha
acharyan matulan bhratrun
acharyan matulan bhratrun
putran pautran sakhins tatha.
putran pautran sakhins tatha
Let's chant together.
Tatra
Tatra
pashyat
sthitan
partha pitamaha acharyan
Putran
putran pautran sakhin stitha.
I might not have pronounced Parthaha, probably. I don't know. I didn't realize that I was saying it right. So it's Parthaha. Okay. Because if it is Partha, then somebody must be addressing Arjuna, Partha or Partha, like that. But here, Parthaha, Arjuna is doing something. Arjuna, so Lord Krishna said, see all these Kauravas who are gathered here. So now Arjuna is, Sanjay is explaining, Tatra apasyat sthitan, so Pathaha, so Arjuna, Athaha, then, so Lord Krishna said, look at the, then Arjuna apasyat sthitan, so saw all those people who are sthitan, who are positioned there, standing there, standing, tatra is there. So tatra apasyat sthitan, who is he saying? Now, so far he is seeing everybody as enemies. I want to fight them. Now he started seeing them as Pitrun. Pitrun is fathers. Okay, it's a plural word, plural objective case. Okay, so it is fathers, means fathers. Of course, he has one father, but the relationship, father, uncles, brothers of fathers, right? So that is all of them. He's calling them as fathers. Okay, father figures. Then Pitamahan, grandfathers. Then Acharyan, gurus, teachers, right? Matulan, maternal uncles. Bhratrun is brothers. Then Putran, sons. Pautran, grandsons. Sakhins tadha means in that manner, or and Sakhin. Sakhin is friends. So he started seeing all these Kauravas as, fathers, grandfathers, gurus, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, and friends. Okay. He continues in the next sloka. Shall we do next sloka also? 27.
Yeah, sure.
So the relationships, all these, it's very good to learn these Sanskrit words. We learn the relationships. And if we are learning Sanskrit and we want to, use them, use Sanskrit in our day-to-day life, and then we could use these relationship words, right? These are typically when we are speaking, hey, my uncle lives here. So you know who to what you call, right? Matulan.
Matulan, can you repeat what is Matulan is?
Maternal uncle.
Like on mother's side, kind of thing. Okay, yeah, mother.
Yeah. 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 Pitron, he said, as fathers and brothers of fathers, right? I mean, all are come under that category. Okay. So the entire Kaurava army is full of all these people who are related to Arjuna, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
In one way or the other, they are blood relative, or they are gurus, teachers, or they are friends. They were friends before this war, before before they went to the forest. So they may not be like so close, right? But they're friends. There are friends in that army. So unfortunately now he has to fight all of them. So he started seeing them as his relations, which is a wrong thing to do. Okay, so 27. Go to Sloka 27. Okay. Swasuran suhrudaschaiva
Swasuran suhrudaschaiva
senayorubhayorapi
Senayorubhayorapi
tan samikshya sa kaunteyaha
Tan samikshasa kaunteya
sarvan bandhun avasthitan.
Sarvan bandhun avastitan
Let's chant together. Swasuran suhrudaschaiva senayorubhayorapi
Senayorapi
Tan
tan
samikshasa
samikshya sa
kaunteya
kaunteyaha sarvan
Sarvan
Sita.
bandhanavastan.
So Arjuna is saying that entire enemy army full of his relatives and friends, and he's continuing, right? I mean, Sanjaya is narrating this, what Arjuna is seeing in front of him. Okay, so he's saying Swasuran. Swasuran is fathers-in-law. Okay, Suhrud, Suhrudaha. So Swasuran, Suhrudaha cha eva. So and also Suhrudaha is well-wisher. So all there are well-wishers in his army, in that army. Senayor ubhayorapi, senayoho ubhayoh api. In both armies. I mean, so there are, he said, Samavetan Kuruniti, like see all these Kauravas. So he's in the middle, right? Arjuna is in the middle. And then he's looking at Kauravas army, and he said, oh, all these people, I mean, didn't say, he started seeing them, Again, as I said, right, Arjuna might not be speaking this. Sanjaya is able to see with his Divya Drishti, he's able to see and he can understand what Arjuna is feeling, and he's able to express that. So Swasuran Suhrudaschaiva, Senayorapi. So all these fathers-in-law and then well-wishers are in both the armies. Okay. Then what happened? So as I said, Kaunteyaha is there, right? So Kaunteyaha is now Arjuna, son of Kunti. What did he do? Sa Kaunteya, Saha Kaunteyaha. So that son of Kunti, okay. Tan Samiksha. Tan Samiksha means Tan, those. Samiksha, after observing well. Samiksha. So he saw all these people, and after observing well, those, who are those? Sarvan Bandhun Avasthitan. All Bandhun is relatives, Avasthitan, those who are positioned there, who are assembled there. So Samikshya, he said, right? Samikshya is the after observing. So, after reading, I explain, right? So that after reading, I'm going to do something like that. So Samiksha is after observing well. Okay. So next sloka comes. What did he do? Next sloka comes. So in this particular sloka, now he observed everybody. And in the previous sloka, he explained the relations, all these people are full of relatives and friends. And, and in this sloka also he continued fathers-in-law, well-wishers, they are in both the armies, right? After observing all these things, Arjuna is, is going to do something. What he's going to do, we will see in the next sloka. Any questions on this? We'll move on to sloka 28. This is where the Arjuna sorrow starts showing up. So Arjuna Vishada Yoga, that is the name of this chapter, right? Arjuna Vishada Yoga. We are going to see now that Vishada starts coming up. So far, he didn't have the feeling of Vishada. Okay. When he saw the Kaurava army as enemies and he's going to fight them, why would he? Nobody feels sorrow and feels happy, right? That's a typical reaction. He's able to fight, and then he knows that he's a great archer, and he knows he has the support of Lord Krishna. So definitely, he is in a position to win. Okay, so he must be eager to fight, happy to fight. So the Vishada doesn't come into picture at all so far. But after Lord Krishna says, look at all these people, then he started really looking at them, really observing them. When he really looked at them, he saw Bhishma, their Bhishma, his great grandfather, and like he's so great, and they loved him so much. Bhishma, Drona, and all these elders, they loved Arjuna so much. So how can Arjuna hurt them? That's what he thought. So when he thought about it, suddenly he he felt that compassion in him. One moment, it looks like my video got changed. Are you able to see me?
Yeah, we can see you. Yeah, we can see.
Okay. Okay. So we'll go to next sloka.
Sure, yeah.
28, sloka 28. Krupaya paraya visto
Krupaya paraya vishto
vishedan idam abravit.
vishitan idamabravit.
Arjuna uvacha
Arjuna uvacha
drushtve swajanam Krishna
drushtve mam
Swajanam Krishna
yuyutsum samupasthitam.
yuyutsum samupasthitam.
Let's chant together. Krupaya
Krupaya paraya
paraya
vishto
visto vishedan idam abravit.
Vishidanidamabravit.
Arjuna
Arjuna uvacha
Drishtve
Drishva
janam
Vemam
Krishna
Vajanam Krishna
Yuyutsum sampastitam.
Okay. So Arjuna started seeing all those warriors in Kaurava army as his relatives, right? So Sanjay is continuing, right? Krupaya paraya avistaha. Okay. So Krupaya is Krupa is compassion. Krupaya is with compassion. Okay. Krupaya paraya. Again, as I said, right? You see the construction here. The same vibhakti is continuing. So when there is an adjective, so let's say compassion. Is it low, small, little compassion, or big and great? So it is great, boundless compassion. So paraya. So with that great compassion, okay, avishtaha, the overwhelmed. So in English, if you want to understand the meaning, overwhelmed with great compassion or boundless compassion. Okay. Vishidan idam abravit. Vishidan. Again, this is Vishada. You understand, right? Vishidan is while grieving, while while that because of compassion, when that compassion is filled in him, he started feeling the sorrow. Why is feeling sorrow? Anyone?
Because you need to kill all his.
Want
Yeah,
people.
yeah, because so many people will be killed, right?
Yes. Yeah. So he loves all these people. These are the people that he, they are all his relatives, friends, well-wishers. So they will all be killed either by him or by other people. So all his life is living to protect them. I mean, right? I mean, he loves so much that he should be protecting. Now, instead, they will be hurt. They'll be killed. So when he thought about it, suddenly that he was overcome with grief. Okay, with sorrow. Vishada. Arjuna is feeling the Vishada now. Okay. While having that grief, or while grieving, while uh, feeling sorrow, idam abravit, he spoke this. What did he say? Krishna, oh Krishna, see here, it is not Krishna, it is Krishna. So that means he is addressing Krishna. Oh Krishna, Drishtva imam swajanam. Drishtva swajanam. So after seeing Drishtva, again, that is after see, Drishti is see, right? I mean, but Drishtva is after seeing imam swajanam, this swajanam, this friends and relatives, right? All these friends and relatives. Who are they? They are yuyutsum samupasthitam. Yuyutsum is who are eager to fight. Samupasthitam, who are standing together there, right? Who are assembled there, who are situated there or positioned there. So So filled with a lot of compassion or boundless compassion, Arjuna started feeling the Vishada. Okay. While having that Vishada, Arjuna started speaking. Arjuna Uvacha, that is in the middle. So this sloka, Arjuna starts speaking the later half of the sloka. Previous half was spoken by Sanjaya. Sanjaya is narrating previous sloka, but previous half, the first half. The second half is spoken directly by Arjuna. Of course, all this Sanjaya is narrating, but Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna said like this. So, Drishtvaemam Svajanam Krishna, I saw after seeing all this, who are Yuyatsam Samupasthitam, who are eager to fight, standing here, because he said Drishtva, right? After seeing, so then the next sloka will continue. So we need to understand what happens in 29. So he's still explaining to Lord Krishna in that sorrow, it's about to cry, right? So he started saying, after seeing all these people, okay, now 29, sloka 29. Any questions? Not, I'll go to sloka 29. Okay. Oh, sloka 29. Sidanti mama gatrani
Sidanti mama gatrani
mukham cha parisushyati
mukham cha parishusyati
vepadhuscha sarire me
vepatuscha sharire me
roma harshascha jayate.
roma harshascha jayate.
Let's chant together. Sidanti mama
Mama gatrani
gatrani
mukham
mukham
cha
cha
parishusyati
parisushyati
vepatuscha sharire me roma harshascha jayate.
So Arjuna is explaining how he's feeling to Krishna. Okay, so after while having that grief, after seeing all these people, Arjuna is addressing Lord Krishna. After seeing all this, what is happening? Sidanti mama gatrani. My gatrani is limbs. My limbs are sidanti, sidante. They are sidanti is falling down. Is like um, slackening. The word. And basically, that entire energy is lost like that, right? Mm, that quivering in the limbs. This appears like no energy is there. They're just falling down. Okay. So sidanti mama gatrani. Okay. And then what's happening? Mukham parisushyati. Mukham is not the face. That is in some of the Indian languages, mukham is generally referred to the entire face, but mukham is the mouth here. So the mouth parisushyati is getting completely dried out. Suddenly when something horrible somebody sees, right, they faint, isn't it? They'll be fine till that moment, but when they see something like for some people, like they see blood, for example, or some, they get hurt, some physical hurt somewhere, or they see somebody they really love, they see somebody is getting hurt, they suddenly they lose, all this will happen to them, like they totally dried out, energy is totally gone from, they kind of fall down, they cannot even stand, the limbs totally become, and no energy at all, the mouth becomes totally dry. Okay, so that's what is happening to Arjuna. Sarir me sarire vepathu is trembling, shivering. Me sarire, my in my body, sarire is in body. Okay, that entire there's total shivering inside my body. It means the entire body is getting it's shivering. Okay. Roma harshascha jayate. Roma harshaha is bristling of hair, like out of fear, something, when something uh, uh, drastic, dramatic, or something that is unthinkable kind of happens, right? When that at that situation, when they see something bhayanak, horrible thing, or think of something horrible, such a things happen. So that is what is happening to Arjuna here. So he's explaining to Lord Krishna, hey Krishna, after seeing all these people, my limbs are totally falling down, my mouth is getting dried, and my entire body is shivering, and I'm having that bristling of hair, you know. Jayat is emerging or occurring, so that the hair is standing up on my skin. Okay, so he will continue in 30th sloka, but so now we are seeing the transition of Arjuna from the one who is so willing, eager to fight, to totally like lost his energy. Arjuna is a very key for success of the entire Pandava army. Now, if he feels like this, then what happens, right? So, the fact that he thought that his beloved ones, his well-wishers, his relatives, his friends are going to be hurt, that made him faint like that. You know, sometimes when such thing happens, the flow of blood to the brain, just for a few seconds, it will stop. Okay, flow, not only brain, like the entire, the face, right? So you'll see the face becomes pale, the lips become pale. I've seen it happening. And then they will be, um, their eyes are open, but they say that they're not able to see anything. And then they fall down, right? So that's exactly what happened to Arjuna. That is explained here. So beautifully, right? So he did not remember all the things that happened in the past. Um, he suddenly was overcome with compassion. Oh, all my people are going to be killed. Maybe I'll be killing a lot of these people. So, um, he started having that reaction. We'll stop here with this sloka 29. We'll continue next week. Any questions on this?
No, we are good, I think.
There's a Arjuna could be having the feeling of this PTSD. PTSD is a recent term that with the recently they started talking about all these soldiers who go there and fight, right? Before going there, before fighting, they are fine. They are good soldiers. They got trained. They get trained and everything. But after fighting there, after seeing all the bloodshed and all that, they come back and they have nightmares. They have all kinds of reactions. So they're not able to live properly after that. So, I mean, in a way, Arjuna, even before the war occurs, he was able to think that bloodshed. These people, like modern day soldiers, they only when they experience it and they're not accustomed to used to that kind of horrible things in the war field. That's when no matter how much training they get, it's horrible. So they get into PTSD mode. So in case of Arjuna, he it's just trying to relate it. So he got into this kind of a reaction even before the war occurred, and just thinking that people who are soldiers who have to do things, or it could be anybody, like doctor. They go to they start doing things which seem horrible, right? So all of them need this kind of a training, the Bhagavad Gita training. That what is the purpose? Why are they there? I mean, they should be thinking of he is my relative, he's my friend, and I shouldn't be doing it, and this is bad thing is going to happen. Or need not be friends or relatives, but as a human being, this or an animal is getting. So they should think of their duty and do their duty, not think of anything else. Um, and if they do that, if they are not focused on their duty, they have either expectations or things like that we discussed a few minutes back. They will run into this situation, right? So Bhagavad Gita message is very appropriate for those who are they are involved in this kind of situation where Arjuna is, that he has to do his duty to, I mean, unfortunately, in this particular case, right, he has to, eliminate his beloved grandfather, gurus, and all that, because they took the evil side, and of course they need to be eliminated. They were following adharma, so they have to be eliminated. But in that situation, if one is not trained, they will enter this mode of PTSD. If they are trained on like Bhagavad Gita message, then they will not have a problem. They shouldn't have a problem. I mean, in a smaller scale, all of us face situation, not like a war situation, but all of us face situations where we are not able to see things clearly when we are overcome with inappropriate emotion. Need not be compassion, inappropriate emotion. When we are overcome with inappropriate emotion, we do not take the right decision. So that inappropriate emotion comes because we do not have the proper understanding of who we are and what is our goal, all that. So it is we'll go into the basics. So after listening to this entire, Arjuna starts speaking now, he speaks for a long time. So after speaking, Arjuna speaking, Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna starts giving the message with the core of the message, who we are first. Okay, that is where it starts. He doesn't say, oh, if you fight, you will get this benefit, and so go and fight. And that's what we typically do. We think of the result, focus on the result, and then run for it. But that is not the right thing to do. We will learn all that. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll conclude the concluding prayer. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for joining in the session today.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll conclude with the concluding prayer.
Thank you.
कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु ओम अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः जय श्रीमन्नारायण
Yes, Narayan.
Yes, Srimannar.
जय
Thank you, sir.
श्रीमन्नारायण थैंक यू
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Jai Srinath.